Welcome, families of the class of 2023. We're delighted to have you this evening, and we are going to present our agenda for you. We're going to cover a number of things this evening. We're going to talk briefly about the role of the counselor, look at some important dates to remember, cover graduation requirements, a little bit about our subjects and courses, of course, the course selection process itself, college entrance requirements, and we'll finish this evening with Q&A. Let's meet our counseling team at SRV. Students with last names A through DEB work with Miss Levy-Wendt. Students with last names DEC through JN, Miss Conti. Last names JO through NIM, Miss Isaacs. Students with last names NIN through SM with me, Melissa Bergstedt. Last names SN through Z, Miss Drake. And Ms. Iglesias is our support counselor at SRV, so she works with all students in all alphabets. She can get referrals to her by students themselves, by parents, or by staff members, and she really helps us take the lead with students who might benefit from a little extra student support, particularly around maybe social emotional kinds of issues. So she's very helpful to our team, and we are all here to help your students succeed at SRV. The role of our counseling team is to help our students achieve success in all aspects of their lives. We really want to get to know our students and get involved with them, giving them guidance throughout high school, individual, ongoing guidance on academic, personal, and post-secondary options. Students can reach us by making an appointment through our Wolves Counseling page on our website. They can drop into our Zoom meetings during student support on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That Zoom link is on our Wolves Counseling page, and they can email us for quick questions. We really want our students to direct their questions to their own individual counselor, and parents, you're invited to email us with questions that you might have. The email links, again, are in that Wolves Counseling tab of our website. Let's talk just a bit about the SRVHS graduation requirements. Each semester course a student passes, they earn 5 credits. A year-long course, they get 10 credits. So when you see 40 credits of English, that means there are 40 credits a student must pass in English to get their diploma, 10 credits of English each year, 4 years, total of 40 credits. For math, a student must pass 2 years, 20 credits of math, and within that they must pass Algebra 1 or the equivalent. In the social studies area, 35 credits, 5 coming from world geography. Students take that in the 9th grade year at SRV. 10 credits of world history, which they take in their sophomore year. Next year, U.S. history, 10 credits will be on board. And then in the senior year, 5 credits of American government and 5 of economics. In science, 20 credits, 10 coming from a life science, such as biology, and 10 credits coming from a physical science, such as chemistry. 20 credits of PE to graduate, 5 credits of health, typically taken in the 9th grade, opposite world geography, and then 10 credits in 2 of the 3 areas you see listed there, visual or performing arts, world language, or vocational or applied arts. Students, of course, will take many other classes outside of these basic core areas, so they'll earn additional credits, and they will work to achieve 220 overall credits in order to meet diploma requirements. Let's talk just a bit about the school start and end times. We really encourage a 6-period day for students. We have many great course offerings for students, and we encourage our students to explore and enjoy the wide range of choices at our high school. But students must be enrolled in a minimum of 5 SRVHS classes. A standard school day would look like a period 1 through 6, but a student may request a late start school day or an early release, or they may enroll in a maximum of 7 classes with that A period. That's an earlier morning class. Students may not be on campus during an unscheduled period. So they're either coming late or they're leaving early and they're coming to campus for the start of their first class or leaving early at the end of their last class. So you can see that there's a variety of options for a full SRB schedule from 5 to 7 classes and the different ways that a student might request their schedule. A through 6, A through 5, etc., as you see there. Now, a lot of students and families like to plan ahead, and we have a great personal 4-year plan worksheet in the high school course catalog to map out a course plan. If you'd like to do that for the next 2 years of high school, you can find that in the course catalog on our Wolves Counseling page. We've given you the links here. And this would be a good place in the presentation for me to let you know that we will be posting this PowerPoint. We will make this presentation available under our Students tab, Class of 2023, and also under Course Selection 21-22. So it will be easy to find it and refer back to it as necessary. Now, sometimes we get some questions about where a student can find their unofficial transcript. It's really easy to do that. You can log into Infinite Campus, select Reports, and choose Portal Transcript and print. It's as easy as that. Student can download their unofficial transcript right at home. Course selection. We strongly encourage students to review the course descriptions and recommendations, which can be found in the high school course catalog when choosing classes. Of course, budget and enrollment may impact whether or not these courses are provided, and we certainly make every effort to place students in their requested course schedule as availability permits. Now for English, juniors have a choice between Academic College Prep English 11 or AP English Language. Because AP Language Advanced Placement is a rigorous course, an AP course, students tend to be well prepared to do well at that level when they have an A in Semester 1 English 10 or a B- or better in Advanced English 10. If a student is interested in finding out more about AP language, there are 2 informational meetings planned, one on 3-2 during student support and one on 3-3 during lunch. And the Zoom link for both of those meetings is here for students to log in and get more information about AP English language as an option. In the social studies area, juniors must select a year-long U.S. History 1-2, that's Academic College Prep U.S. History, or if they really like history and they really want to be challenged at a high level, they're a student that's well prepared for that rigor. The recommendation being A in World History, B in AP European History, and an A in English 10 or B- or better in English 10 Advanced. Then AP US History may be an option for students to look at that. So one of those 2 options, US History Academic or AP US History next year. We also offer several electives. You'll notice that sociology and philosophy are paired together. Vietnam and World War II are paired together, semester each. There's a year-long psychology AP Advanced Placement, as well as AP Human Geography and Ethnic Studies. In our math department, we offer many different math classes. As a reminder, 2 years of high school math is required and Algebra 1 must be passed in order to meet high school graduation requirements. We encourage students to take a look at the course catalog in terms of the descriptions and the recommendations, and also to talk with their math teachers in terms of appropriate placement for the next year. Life science, we offer a number of life science classes which are listed here on the screen. Biology, most students have taken in the 9th grade or are currently taking in the 10th grade. If a student has not taken biology or passed it, that may be a class they select next year. If they have, we can see lots of other options for them to go beyond that. Biology with other options in the life science area. 1 year of high school life science is required, and those are the options. In the physical science area, 1 year of high school physical science is required. That's a year of chemistry or physics. The student must pass a year-long class. And there are several other options, as you can see listed there, for students in the physical science department to choose from. And a lot of our students, of course, go above and beyond the minimum requirements. Lots of options. In PE, just a reminder that a student needs to complete 2 years of PE. So these are the options that students can choose from. Pretty self-explanatory in looking at the options, although strategies in recreational PE is a class for students who perhaps want to help a special needs student, special needs students in PE activities. That would be a good fit, a student who wants to do that. And that's one of those PE offerings that we have. We also offer Introduction to Dance, which is open to all levels. If a student wants to audition for a higher level of dance, they may do so. And Marching Band is a class that is offered in the fall and actually is a class that meets after school. There are other options to earn PE credit besides taking a PE class. One of those options is athletic PE. It's in order to qualify for athletic PE, a student must be on a school-sanctioned SRVHS team, and when they complete their season of sport, they earn 10 credits per season of sport. If a student is interested in athletic PE, they can go to our website under athletics and complete the athletic physical education request form. And that tells us that's how they would like to tackle a PE option through athletic PE. Another option for PE is independent PE. Independent PE is really designed for an exceptionally gifted athlete who's competing at a high level, at a regional, state, or national competition level within the school year in an individual sport. It has to be an individual sport, not a team sport. It may also be open for a student who has an impacted schedule due to a special academic support program, or who wishes to take an advanced PE level course that the school is not offering, or is medically prohibited by their physician from participating in regular PE. Applications are coming to the srvusd.net website on the Personalized Learning tab, and they should be available very, very soon, likely by the end of this month. They will be on that website for students who wish to apply for independent study PE and meet the criteria. We offer a full French program from beginning French all the way up to AP, and the same in Spanish, beginning Spanish all the way up to AP. We encourage students to refer to course recommendations for the appropriate course level and selection, and also to talk with their world language teacher if they have questions about levels and placements. In terms of the high school elective requirement, 1 year in 2 of the following 3 subject areas is required to meet high school graduation requirements. So 10 credits in 2 of those 3 areas that you see listed here: world language, visual and performing arts, and career technology applied arts. And I'll go over these offerings on the next few pages so you can see what SRV has to offer our students. First, visual and performing arts. Goodness, we are so fortunate at SRV to have such a thriving visual and performing arts program. All of these courses are year-long, and you can see there's just a great number of rich opportunities for the visual and performing arts area. Any of those courses that you see that have an asterisk by them are audition required for students to access those levels. So we'll talk about how to do that right here. So if a student is interested in a higher level of theater, they can contact Mr. Nash. His email address is here. Higher level of dance beyond the beginning level, they should contact Miss Ward. Or in addition to contacting Miss Ward, check the Visual and Performing Arts website. You see that here. For jazz band and ensemble, students should contact Mr. Nishida for audition information. And for choir audition information, students should contact Mr. Giacinto. In the Career and Technology Applied Arts area, we have a number of offerings for students to choose from. And we are so lucky to have such a broad range of classes for students in various interests. So students should read the course descriptions in the catalog for more information on these classes. Wonderful options here in CTE Applied Arts. Other electives include things like publications, which is for students who are interested in working on producing the school yearbook, speech and debate, AP Human Geography, marching band we spoke about earlier. If a student is interested in an unscheduled A period, that means they don't want to take a class within the A period. They don't want that class. They should put unscheduled A for the fall, unscheduled A for the spring when they fill out their course selection. That flags us that they don't want a class in A period. They want it unscheduled during A period. A student can also make a request to have an unscheduled period, period 1 or 2, having a late start or an early release, unscheduled 5th, 6th. So they would put that in their requests so that we will try to honor that for them in unscheduling them those specific periods. We offer a great number of honors and AP courses at SRV. The key is to create healthy balance for every student, and every student is a bit different. So we encourage students to take courses at their level where they feel they can be successful. We want them to shine. And we also encourage students to look at taking honors and AP courses in areas that interest them, really kind of targeting those areas if they want to dive deeper in honors and AP. We want students to keep in mind the outside commitments that they may have when enrolling in classes, thinking about things like how many hours they're going to spend in athletics, or if they have a part-time job, or if they're volunteering, or they're involved in various clubs, things like that. Creating a healthy balance is always key, and that's a conversation for each family to have with their student. Let's take a look at the course selection process, which will be online this year. The information, including the list of courses and the link to the high school course catalog, this is going to be emailed to families. It will also be posted on our Wolves Counseling page. So more information to come on that list of courses and the link to the course catalog. Then the Infinite Campus window will open between March 5th and March 14th. So this is the period of time that students will go in and put their course requests into Infinite Campus online. What's interesting this year is that we are not requiring hard copy paper forms. This means that parents and student signatures they're not required this year, but of course we want parents to be aware of what their students are submitting online. So we encourage families to discuss their students' course selection together before putting those courses in Infinite Campus between March 5th and March 14th online. We're good in counseling at SRV. We work really hard, but we do have limitations. Every effort will be made to accommodate course requests. Please know that. However, limitations in the master schedule and overall student requests, including alternate choices, will ultimately determine your final schedule. We work really hard to try to place students where they want to be, and we will make every effort to do that. Questions regarding course selection. Counselors will be meeting with students individually in the coming weeks to review course selections and answer students' questions. In addition, our counseling team are available for students on a drop-in basis for questions. Students are welcome to see us during student support on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That link is on the Wolves counseling page, so they can drop into our Zoom meetings during student support. Let's talk a moment about accredited online courses and off-campus classes, non-district courses. Students have the ability to place up to 40 credits of non-SRV-USD coursework on their high school transcript, including graduation requirements, but students are limited to 20 credits of outside coursework in any one curricular area. And a maximum of 20 credits per year can be put on the SRV-USD transcript. If a student is thinking about taking a non-district course, we would like to encourage them to complete their online course selection as if he or she is not taking an out-of-district course. We really want to be sure that students get the classes that they need. Things can happen, we realize, over the course of thinking about online. Maybe students change their mind, or it's more expensive than they thought it might be to take an online course, or they don't enroll. So we want to be sure that everybody is in the classes that they need for the fall, and then if they enroll in our absolutely in that non-district course that they want to take outside for the fall, we can drop that class and replace it with a different class for the student. Now, for more information and deadlines and requirements on personalized learning program through the SRV-USD, you can visit the website there on the PLI program. In terms of sports eligibility, participation by tryouts, that's how students will try out for different sports, except for cross-country, football, badminton, wrestling, and track and field. Those particular sports are open to all, no tryouts necessary for cross-country, football, badminton, wrestling, and track and field. Come one, come all. Other sports by tryouts, students must have a minimum of a 2.0 unweighted GPA, and that's based on the previous semester and quarter. For more information, check out athletics on our webpage. For student athletes who hope to compete at the collegiate level, they should really be sure they're meeting NC2A requirements and maintaining strong grades. There's a wealth of information available under our counseling webpage, Counseling College Resources NC2A Athletes. And students will want to register with NC2A and download that college-bound student athlete guide. Again, more information is available under Counseling College Resources NC2A Athletes. Lots of information there for students. There are many different types of schools and applications associated with different schools. There's a wealth of opportunities for our students, life after high school. California State, our public state universities, there's 23 of those in our state of California, and there are 9 UC campuses. There are 77 private and independent schools in the state of California, and more than 3,400 total colleges in the US. Nowadays, I think we're starting to see more and more students who are interested in applying to international schools too. And these different schools have different application processes. So the UC has their own application right through the UC website. The CSU works the same way. Applications are through the CSU website, and community colleges, students apply through the community college website for community college admission. Now, a lot of private and out-of-state schools will use the common application. They'll have students apply directly to the institution through the website, or they might use something called the coalition application. And just know that we will be talking more with juniors about the college research process, and in the senior year in the fall, the nuts and bolts of the college application process itself. For community college admission, students are eligible if they've graduated from high school and are 18 years old. And it is a wonderful opportunity to go to the community college. Students can go to study a specific trade or vocation and do a certificate program, earn a 2-year AA degree, or go to prepare for 4-year college transfer, doing the first 2 years at a community college and then transferring and doing the last 2 years on the 4-year campus that they want to transfer to. Wonderful thing about DVC, our local Diablo Valley College, is they offer something called First Time Full-Time Free. And this is a wonderful option because our students can get all of the first 2 years of college, their general ed, completed for free. So this is a really attractive option for students and families. Let's take a moment just to look at the UC and the CSU A through G requirements, and just keeping in mind that these courses must be completed with a grade of C- or better. So the UC and the CSU, taking a look at each of these, they're going to be needing students to meet the A through G requirements. In Area A, that's 2 years of history and social studies. Area B, 4 years of college prep English. Area C, 3 years of mathematics, Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and then you'll see for the UC, more competitive, 4 years recommended. CSU would love it too if students would go on and take math every year they're in high school and just keep that math brain sharp. Area D is lab science. They're looking for a year of a life science, biology, a year of a physical science, chemistry or physics. And of course, to be more competitive, UC is looking for 3 or more years. I think that most of our students go on to take more than 2 years of science anyway. And CSU would love to see more than that as well, but 2 years minimum required. 2 years of language in the same language. UC is going to strongly prefer that extra 3rd year, recommended. Both require a year-long visual and performing arts course and a year-long college prep elective course. In addition, taking a look at the college entrance tests, SAT or ACT, those are what additionally students need to be thinking about, and just want to keep in mind that testing requirements are subject to change. Taking a look at the estimated GPAs that are on a student transcript, because you'll see that there are 4 if you look at your student's transcript. The first one is a cumulative GPA weighted. This is used by many private and out-of-state schools. It covers 9th grade all the way through the end of the 12th grade year. And some of the private and out-of-state schools, most of them are looking for that GPA. Sometimes they'll ask for a cumulative GPA unweighted, so we place that on the transcript. And we also place the California Cal Grant GPA. So if a student's going to a school in the state of California, they might be able to get a Cal Grant, and the Cal Grant GPA is calculated in 10th and 11th grade, unweighted, no PE. And then finally, there's something called the weighted 10 through 12 A through G GPA, and this is used by UC and most CSUs. I say most CSUs because Cal Poly San Luis Obispo recalculates using 9th through 12th grades, but the majority are looking at the 10th and 11th and the A through G subjects we talked about, and that's a weighted GPA. Now, does that mean that a student doesn't need to keep their grades strong in the senior year? No, absolutely not. A student needs to keep their grades strong throughout high school. It's really important. Looking at independent colleges and public and out-of-state universities, each school is a little different in terms of what they're going to require for admission. So we encourage students to check each college's website for individual admissions requirements, course requirements, testing requirements, GPA, letters of recommendation, how many might they need from a teacher and/or their counselor, essays, personal statements, and whether they do a comprehensive review. So taking a look at each school's website will give students that information for each of these independent, public, or out-of-state schools. An easy way to do that is for our students to use a tool that they have ready at their fingertips anytime they want, which is our Naviance college and career planning software. And through this, students can do so many wonderful things. They can do major planning, for careers, they can build a resume, and research scholarships and financial aid, but it's a great tool for college research and planning too. So every SRBH student has their unique Naviance account, and just know that counselors will be guiding students through an activity. For 11th graders, it is a college research activity so that they can start to really think about what sorts of things are important to them in a campus and start to build that college list. We're blessed to have a great college and career center on campus, and this is a great center. Students can visit and hear from college reps. We bring about, over 130 different college reps to SRV each year. We also have all kinds of information on SAT, ACT, scholarships, financial aid. If a student gets a job and needs a work permit, this is where they go. If they're looking for a job, there's a job board. There's also great summer programs and internships and volunteer opportunities. And so a student can access the College and Career Center, as well as all of the postings on the webpage for the College and Career Center. Great information there for students and families. Some important dates to think about for the winter and spring. Of course, that online course selection process we've talked about, that window is going to be open on Infinite Campus from March 5th through the 14th. We'll be offering the PSAT for sophomores on site April 20th. We wanted you to have some information on the NACAC and the Western Association for College Admission Counseling in terms of college fairs that are coming up. This is a great way for students to start doing some college exploration. And of course, this district will be offering summer school for remediation purposes to make up a D or an F, to get back on track for high school graduation, or to meet college entrance requirements. And there's a link there for summer school for advancement purposes as well. As our students are starting to think about organizing college visits and tours, we really encourage students to check the college's tour availability and their guidelines, and try to visit when we're not in class, if at all possible, on non-instructional days in order to not miss important academic instruction. But here's some really good tips for students about how to get the most out of their visit. Encourage them to do their homework about a college before visiting the campus. They can do a lot of that through Naviance, through that college and career planning tool. They can do a virtual tour. They can see a whole bunch of information about that college right there. We want you to plan to visit only 1 or 2 campuses each day, so as not to overwhelm you with too much information and not get confused about your options there. This is an easy way to do it. And you might consider visiting a local college first to get your feet wet. Remember that the tour guide has been through the admissions process before, and they can be a great resource. And of course, remember to ask things like, what kinds of academic support are available? What kinds of tutoring programs are available? Try to visit when college students are on campus, if at all possible, and book tours and information sessions ahead of time online with the college through their website. Interestingly, often admissions officers who present the informational sessions are also the same ones who read applications. So consider having your students introduce themselves. And as you walk around the campus, encourage your student to imagine what it would be like to be a student at the campus. And think about having a few similar questions for each campus visit to compare and contrast. Parents, you can talk to other parents on tours and get information from other parents and see where they're visiting. We've put a note about the SRVHS attendance policy for college visits and what is required for our attendance office to excuse those absences. This information is also available in our student and parent handbook online through our website. So just in preparing for junior year, we want our students to be reviewing their high school transcript. Again, that's available in Infinite Campus. And just take a look and make sure that they're meeting high school graduation requirements. If four-year college is a goal for right after high school, making sure they're meeting the A through G requirements with at least a C grade. If they need to make up D or F grades, then they might use their summer. We encourage them to do that, to do summer school. And if they don't need to do remediation, relax, travel, volunteer, use that time. Also, in addition to the SRV summer school, DVC may be an option to remediate D or F grades, or DVC may be an option to take an enrichment course over the summer. All juniors will be offered the PSAT on our campus in October. We encourage juniors to register early for SAT or ACT. And for those students who are thinking about other post-high school plans, such as attending a trade school or an art school or a military program or a gap year, our College and Career Center and the College and Career Center website has some really great information for students on these kinds of things as well to help them with that path. And of course, we encourage you to attend college fairs. So that's going to wrap up our evening. We just want to thank you so much for being with us and attending. The first day of school will be August 10th. That's going to be a minimum day. We're delighted you joined us, and thank you so much. Have a great evening. Welcome.
Class of 2023 parents and students, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And thank you very much to Melissa Bergstedt for her great voiceover on our slide presentation. Just a reminder, this is linked on our website under Class of 2023, under course selection, and also on the Wolves Counseling webpage. At this time, we want to answer your questions. Feel free to log off if you don't have any questions, but if you want to stay live with us, we just need you to put your questions in the chat and we'll monitor them and answer them as best we can. But we ask you not to ask about questions individual to your own courses or your own situation. We want to keep the questions rather general tonight. We're going to, any questions that we're not able to answer in this time frame, then we'll go ahead and blast those out to you or post them on the Class of 2023 page so that you'll be able to see answers to your questions. So looking at the chat, I'm seeing that will the PACT be offered at SRV for juniors? No, I'm sorry, we don't offer that one. We haven't had enough interest in the past, so the district is sticking to the SAT or College Board. And that's the only question. Here comes another one. Is there a course catalog just for SRV? No, we wish there was, but there's not. So yeah, you have to thumb through. But the nice thing is if you're on the table of contents for the course catalog, you can just click on the course that you're interested in seeing and it'll take you right there. But unfortunately, you have to look under each course description and it'll tell you if it's offered at SRVHS. And also, I should just say that when we email out the course selection forms or worksheets that you're going to work from, those are going to be specific just to SRV. Let's see.
So there's a question about the students taking the PSAT.
Yes.
In October.
You know, that's will the students take the PSAT in April this year and then again in October? If they elect to do so, yes. I would say that taking the PSAT at the end of this sophomore year and then again in October of the junior year, I don't know. These kids are sitting enough and taking enough assessments this year that they might want to take the spring off from the PSAT. I think it's great that we're offering it, but not everybody needs to take it. The one in the fall, the junior PSAT in October, is the one that, quote, counts for scholarships, and it gives you a much better idea of where that SAT really might be. But it is an option to take it. Let's see.
You might want to point them in the direction of the testing tab on the SRV website. There's a testing tab under academics on the SRV website.
Okay.
They can refer to information about testing that becomes available through the site
so
there.
Hopefully you were able to hear Melissa's answer that there's a testing tab on the SRVHS website, and you can go and get some information there as well. Plans to offer the SAT at SRV for next school year. I haven't heard what those dates would be. I would imagine that we're going to continue to try and offer them, but I can't guarantee that it's going to be at SRV and not a different school site. That kind of information hasn't been released from the district yet, and they're probably still trying to weigh the options and see where the best sites are for that SAT. And that's the same question. Let's see. What is a weighted GPA? Oh, that's a great question. A weighted GPA means that if you're in an honors class, such as honors chemistry this year, and you get a B in honors chemistry, then on your transcript it showed up as a B. But when computing the grade point average, a B is usually 3 grade points, and a B in a weighted class would get 4 grade points. So any class that's weighted as an honors or an AP course gets 1 extra grade point at the semester if you earn an A, B, or a C. Nobody takes those classes with the intent of a D or an F, but in the event that that happens, it's not a weighted grade.
And the second part is a PSAT, a practice SAT.
Well, the PSAT is a practice, yes. I'm sorry, yes, it's a practice SAT.
Yes.
Let's see.
You mentioned registering early for the SAT. What month would be considered early?
Well, usually College Board, in a usual year, College Board is going to release all their test dates for the year at once. But things have been changing so rapidly, and as we all know, a lot of tests have been canceled. Hopefully that's going to start to slow down now. But they usually release all of them for a school year. I would imagine, Melissa, I'm not sure what you think, I would imagine College Board is going to release the 21-22 school year tests in probably June. But I'm guessing. So you could start watching their website, the College Board website, in May.
By then.
Would
I would
you think?
imagine by
Yeah.
then we should see that information.
Any idea?
There's a question in the
College Connect, you take that.
college.
Oh, did we skip
There's
that?
a question about auto and auto counting as an elective towards UC-CSU.
No, unfortunately not. It should, but at this time it's a non-college prep class. Still meets a high school graduation requirement though.
I'll take the College Connect question.
Okay.
I'm going to take off my mask because it's hard to hear
Yes.
me with it on. Any idea when the applicants will hear back regarding College Connect? Yes, we hope to be able to complete reading all the applications by the end of the week, by March 5th or so, fine-tune it by the following week, and have some answers very shortly thereafter. second week in March or so, we should start to get some answers about the final candidates.
The next one is on AP classes that are offered in the junior year, and thank you for that shout out about last year. We're disappointed that we couldn't give you the whole presentation, but we thought, oh my goodness, that's really overload screen time for you. But in the junior year, if a person is in Honors Chem and they want to go to AP Chem, absolutely fantastic way to go. If they're more interested in biology, AP Biology can be taken in the junior or senior year, but you do need that chem background for that. There's AP Computer Science Principles. That's a fantastic course for people who don't really want to get deep into programming. They want a broad brush of computer science in general, and they're going to get that in the AP Computer Science Principles class. AP Lang or AP Language is, well, if I run the world, everybody takes an AP English class because it's a life learning class. It's just fabulous, but it's rigorous and it's for people who love reading. Then APUSH or AP US History, fantastic for people who are passionate about US history or about history in general. Again, a rigorous AP course, but one that gets a lot of interest from students who enjoy history. AP Human Geography is, I kind of say AP Human Geography is really, Melissa, I don't know how you describe it, but it's more almost like a sociology course. It's the study of culture and maps and food and politics and what makes a certain part of the world the culture that they have and how has it developed. Students love that class. They also love AP Psychology. And I'm not sure if I'm leaving AP Computer Science A if you really want to dig deep into programming. AP Calculus, need I say more? AP Calculus. And AP Art is after Art 2, of course. You would go to AP Art. And I think that covers about all the AP, the AP languages, but that's after Spanish 4 comes AP Spanish, after French 4 comes AP French. And I was just talking to a student this week who's pursuing engineering. I said, absolutely go to AP Spanish. You're going to meet so many people studying engineering who are non-native English speakers, and having that ear for language is so helpful, even in a field like engineering. But AP classes should be things that people are passionate about. And of course, APES, AP Environmental Science. I don't know about Melissa, but when I'm reading senior resumes, some students call that class a game changer for them. It just opened their eyes up to so many things.
So a highlight of their experience, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great class we offer here and have for years. Yeah. So Jen, the next question is, do we know when the registration will be available for the April PSAT for sophomores?
No, but it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Any day now.
And I would say, again, keep your eyes on the testing link to our website. You're going to find that on the SRV website under testing. You're going to go to academics and then testing, and we'll update that regularly, and of course put that information out in Wolfpack Weekly and all of that as soon as we get it. And then there's a question around, so even though PSAT is a practice test, do colleges still look at the results? Are the test results from the PSAT considered in any way in an admissions decision?
It's going to vary by colleges, and it's even within a college, it might vary by a major if the test score is shared with people looking at individual majors. But that's really a general question and needs to be, I would look on each website for the colleges to get the answer to your question. And I would wait until the fall to look for it because it might change.
Okay. And the next question are the prerequisites for AP Physics.
Well, the best course for AP Physics is going to be Honors Physics. You can go from Physics to AP, but it's much better to go from Honors Physics to AP Physics. And then it's best if you're in AP Calculus. You can be in honors pre-calculus, it's okay, but there's a lot of calculus in our AP Physics course, so really it's best if they're in AP Calculus.
The next question has to do, will athletes be able to get credit for athletic PE this year with the condensed sports schedule that we have? The answer to that is yes. They will be able to get credit for that. Any other questions coming in? No?
No? Okay. So just to kind of recap, at the beginning of next week, we're going to be sending out via email course selection for worksheets. We're not going to be collecting them, so we're going on the honor system that students and parents and guardians are discussing those selections. And but there will be a worksheet, and there will be instructions on how to start choosing classes online. And that window of choosing classes is starting next Friday, March 5th until March 14th. And counselors are going to be going into the sophomore history classes in a couple of weeks. I'd say in 2 to 4 weeks. And we'll be meeting with your student individually by alphabet counselor for the most part, and we'll answer any questions that they have at that time and just review what they've put online. So please do make sure that you're selecting your classes in Infinite Campus. And you're very welcome for all the information. We just wish we could see you in person, but we will next year.
We miss you. Thank you for joining us. It was so great to have you. Thanks for joining us. Go Wolves.
Yay.